A journey through Southern Europe. Raw, unfiltered adventures. Southern Europe isn't just for the yacht crowd or luxury travelers. It's for anyone with a sense of adventure and a love for good food, rich history, and unforgettable moments. Let's explore the raw side together. This is Southern Europe, a place where the past isn't something you read about in books. It's alive, underfoot, and all around. It seeps into your skin, gets tangled in your thoughts, and whispers stories in your ear. Here, every cobblestone has been walked on for centuries, every ruin has its secrets, and every meal carries a legacy. But here's the secret: you don't need to be rich to lose yourself in it. Southern Europe isn't just for the yacht crowd or tourists sipping overpriced cappuccinos in piazzas. With a little grit and a lot of curiosity, this region opens itself to anyone willing to wander. Forget the glossy guidebooks and Instagram highlights. Instead, come with me. Let's cut through the noise and find the raw beauty, the stories hiding in plain sight, and the adventures that cost next to nothing. Wander through time. Southern Europe is where time folds in on itself. Walk the streets of Rome, and you'll feel the weight of centuries pressing on your shoulders. You're not just sightseeing, you're walking alongside gladiators, emperors, and visionaries who once shaped the world. Explore the ruins of the Roman Forum, where political intrigue and legendary debates once echoed. End your day at Piazza Navona, sipping wine as street artists bring new energy to this ancient space. In Athens, the Parthenon commands the skyline, an enduring reminder of Greece's golden age. But history isn't just up on the Acropolis, it's also in the everyday. Wander through the neighborhood of Plaka, where vines creep along pastel walls, or stop for souvlaki in Monastiraki Square, where street vendors compete for your attention against the backdrop of ancient ruins. Then there's Lisbon, where history whispers from every azulejo tile. In the Alfama district, the cobblestones seem to hum with the sound of fado, a hauntingly beautiful Portuguese music that tells tales of love and longing. Seville's Santa Cruz district, on the other hand, feels like a living museum, its whitewashed walls and flower-filled courtyards hiding stories from Spain's Moorish past. Pro tip: skip the pricey tours. Free walking tours in cities like Madrid, Porto, and Athens are led by passionate locals who will reveal their city's secrets in exchange for a small tip. Nature's embrace. The landscapes of Southern Europe are as varied as they are stunning. For a taste of the wild, head to Cinque Terre, Italy's famed string of villages clinging to the cliffs above the Ligurian Sea. Hike the Sentiero Azzurro, where every turn unveils a postcard-perfect view, colorful houses cascading down hillsides, fishing boats bobbing in aquamarine water, and vineyards perched precariously above it all. Over in Crete, the Samaria Gorge feels like nature's cathedral. The sheer walls of the gorge rise like ancient sentinels, while streams babble at your feet and wildflowers line your path. The hike is challenging, but deeply rewarding. A journey into the heart of Crete's rugged beauty. For a quieter escape, lose yourself in the Picos de Europa, a dramatic mountain range in northern Spain where clouds cling to jagged peaks and pastoral valleys stretch endlessly. Or follow the trails of Mallorca's Serra de Tramuntana, a UNESCO World Heritage Site where olive groves, sleepy villages, and panoramic views await. Tip for travelers on a budget: national parks in Southern Europe are often free or require minimal fees, making them the perfect destination for nature lovers. Urban oasis. Even the most bustling cities in Southern Europe have their tranquil corners. In Barcelona, Park Güell is an explosion of color and whimsy, with Gaudi's mosaics creating a dreamscape that feels like stepping into another dimension. Florence's Boboli Gardens offer a taste of Renaissance luxury, with manicured lawns, hidden fountains, and sculptures that seem frozen mid-motion. It's a place where time slows, and every pathway leads to a moment of quiet discovery. And then there's Madrid's Retiro Park, where locals come to picnic, paddle rowboats, and escape the city's buzz. Find a shady spot under a tree, watch the world go by, and let the simplicity of the moment wash over you. A feast for the senses. In Southern Europe, food is theater, ritual, and connection. Markets like La Bucaria in Barcelona are living, breathing celebrations of flavor. You're not just shopping, you're stepping into a sensory overload where the hum of conversations blends with the rhythmic chop of knives and the sizzle of frying seafood. Wander the aisles and you'll find oysters that glisten like jewels, piles of peppers glowing a vivid red, and paprika-dusted sausages hanging like ornaments. Here, vendors are performers, proud of their craft, beckoning you to try slices of manchego or chorizo fresh from the cutting board. Sink your teeth into a skewer of grilled octopus, smoky and tender, or try pimientos de padrón, small green peppers blistered to perfection and sprinkled with flaky sea salt. If you're feeling brave, grab a slice of bacalao, salt cod that's been cured to a dense, meaty texture and is beloved by locals. At Campo dei Fiori in Rome, the market pulses with life as early as sunrise. The scent of freshly baked focaccia fills the air, mingling with the tang of sun-dried tomatoes and the peppery kick of fresh arugula. Olive oil, thick and golden, is poured into bottles that seem to glow in the morning light. Vendors shout greetings to regulars while tourists marvel at the beauty of simplicity. A handful of ripe figs, a ball of creamy burrata, or a jar of pesto so fresh you can practically smell the basil fields it came from. It's not just food, it's the stories behind the food. Every vendor has their secrets. A cheese recipe passed down from a great-grandmother, or olives harvested from the same grove for generations. These markets aren't places you simply visit, they're experiences you live. Picnic perfection. Sometimes the best dining table is nature itself. Picture yourself on the cliffs of Portugal's Algarve, waves crashing below as you spread out a picnic of rustic bread, slices of pungent queijo de azatão, and honey-drizzled almonds. Add a bottle of vinho verde, a crisp, slightly fizzy Portuguese white wine, and suddenly you're dining like royalty for under €10. In Tuscany, there's an unspoken rule: simplicity reigns supreme. A picnic under an olive tree might include just a few ingredients, but each one is perfection. Imagine silky ribbons of prosciutto melting on your tongue, the sweetness of fresh figs balancing the salty, nutty flavors of pecorino. Wash it down with a bold Chianti, its tannins cutting through the richness. Southern Europe teaches you to savor the beauty of ordinary moments, the crunch of bread, the juiciness of sun-ripened tomatoes, the aroma of rosemary carried on the breeze. You don't need fine dining, just a shady spot, good company, and the taste of the land. Culinary adventures. Learning to cook in Southern Europe isn't just a class, it's a memory. In Bologna, the city of culinary giants, a pasta-making class feels like stepping into an Italian grandmother's kitchen. Flour dusts your hands as you knead dough, guided by a local who insists on tradition. Together, you roll out silky sheets of pasta, fold them into perfect tortellini, and spoon a rich, slow-simmered ragu over the top. In Seville, the air is filled with the intoxicating aroma of garlic, paprika, and sizzling olive oil. Your tapas-making workshop might start with shopping at a local market, where you pick up everything from fresh shrimp to plump tomatoes. Back in the kitchen, you learn to perfect patatas bravas, their crisp edges soaking up smoky pimenton aioli, or croquetas de jamón, creamy bites of ham-filled decadence. Between sips of sangria, you discover that cooking isn't just about food. It's about sharing, laughing, and understanding a culture from the inside out. For those with a sweet tooth, consider a pastry-making class in Lisbon, where you'll master the art of crafting pastéis de nata. Each flaky custard-filled tart emerges from the oven golden and irresistible, best enjoyed warm with a sprinkle of cinnamon. Cheers to savings. Southern Europe is a place where even the cheapest glass of wine can taste like a revelation. In Lisbon's Bairro Alto, tiny bars spill onto cobbled streets, their doors wide open to the night. For just a few hours, you can sip a caipirinha, the tangy sweetness of lime paired with sugarcane rum. Or try vinho verde, whose crisp bubbles pair perfectly with the salty sea breeze. Madrid's La Latina district comes alive at dusk, as taverns fill with groups of friends sharing pitchers of sangria. The flavors, citrus, cinnamon, and robust red wine, are a celebration of Spain in a glass. Pair it with a plate of pimientos rellenos, roasted peppers stuffed with creamy goat cheese, and you've got a meal worth lingering over. In Rome's Trastevere, you'll find a mix of hip wine bars and rustic enotecas where bottles are uncorked with flair. Don't be afraid to ask for the house wine. It's often better and cheaper than anything with a fancy label. Pair it with a bowl of cacio e pepe, pasta tossed in a simple yet luxurious sauce of pecorino cheese and black pepper, and you'll understand why Romans consider food and wine an art form. Rails to romance. There's a certain magic to Southern Europe's trains, where journeys are as much a part of the adventure as the destinations. On the route from Florence to Pisa, rolling hills studded with cypress trees seem to blur into watercolors. When the iconic Leaning Tower comes into view, it feels less like a tourist stop and more like a reward for traveling slowly. Take the train from Barcelona to Montserrat, and you'll ascend into a world of jagged peaks and cloud-kissed monasteries. The journey itself is breathtaking. The cityscape fades into rugged countryside, and soon you're surrounded by surreal rock formations that feel almost otherworldly. Once at the top, the panoramic views of Catalonia will leave you speechless. In Portugal, ride the Linha do Douro from Porto into the Douro Valley, where the train tracks hug the winding river. Vineyards stretch up impossibly steep hillsides, and every bend in the track offers a new postcard-worthy view. Two wheels and open roads. Biking through Southern Europe is more than a way to travel. It's a way to connect. In Seville, the flat, bike-friendly streets make exploring a joy. Follow the path along the Guadalquivir River, where the Torre del Oro glints in the sunlight, and pause for tapas at a riverside bar. In Tuscany, cycling through the vineyards feels like entering a painting. As you pedal, the air fills with the scent of ripening grapes, wild herbs, and freshly turned earth. Stop at a family-run vineyard for a tasting, where a glass of Sangiovese pairs perfectly with the view of endless green hills. For thrill seekers, head to Portugal's rugged Algarve coast, where biking trails wind along cliffs, revealing hidden coves and sweeping ocean views. The sound of crashing waves is your constant companion as you navigate paths carved by centuries of wind and sea. Home away from home. Hostels in Southern Europe are nothing like the bare-bones dorms you might imagine. In Porto, you can stay in a restored convent overlooking the Douro River, where the walls seem to echo with centuries of quiet contemplation. The courtyard, now filled with the laughter of travelers, is the perfect place to swap stories over a glass of port wine. In Valencia, quirky guest houses line the streets of the Old Town. Stay at one with a rooftop terrace, where you can sip sangria under fairy lights while the city hums below. These hostels aren't just places to sleep. They're communities where connections are forged and travel tips are shared. For something truly unique, consider agriturismos in Italy, working farms that welcome guests. Stay in a centuries-old farmhouse in Umbria, where breakfasts are made with eggs fresh from the coop, and the hosts treat you like family. Secret shores. The beaches of Southern Europe hold secrets for those willing to explore. On Menorca, Cala Macarea feels like a world apart, with turquoise waters so clear you can see every pebble on the ocean floor. Sheltered by pine-covered cliffs, this beach is a haven for solitude and serenity. In Portugal's Algarve, Praia da Marinha is a masterpiece of nature. Its golden sands are framed by dramatic limestone cliffs, and the sea arches and caves invite endless exploration. Arrive early to claim a quiet spot, and you'll feel like you found your own slice of paradise. Village charm. The villages of Southern Europe are time capsules, each with its own unique charm. In Albero Baio, Italy, the Trulli houses, cone-shaped and whitewashed, look like something from a fairy tale. Wandering the narrow streets, you might stumble upon a family-run cafe serving fresh orecchiette pasta, or a tiny boutique selling handmade ceramics. In Frigiliana, Spain, the whitewashed walls are a canvas for vibrant bursts of color. Cobalt blue doors, pots overflowing with geraniums, and tiled mosaics that tell the village's Moorish history. Climb to the top of the village for sweeping views of the surrounding countryside, where olive groves stretch to the horizon. Market treasures. Markets in Southern Europe are treasure hunts. At Lisbon's Feira de Ladra, you might sift through stacks of vintage tiles, unearth a handmade leather bag, or find a necklace that feels like it has a story. In Madrid's El Rastro, The bustling Sunday market feels like a carnival. You'll find everything from antique pocket watches to funky second-hand clothes. The thrill isn't just in what you buy, it's in the conversations, the bartering, and the joy of discovery. Giving back. Travel isn't just about taking, it's about connecting. Volunteer on a vineyard during harvest season in Tuscany, or join a beach cleanup in the Balearic Islands. These experiences let you leave a positive mark while gaining deeper insight into local life. Pack light, live fully. Southern Europe isn't a checklist of landmarks or a race to take perfect photos. It's the people you meet, the flavors you taste, and the moments that sneak up on you when you least expect them. It's the laughter of strangers in a Lisbon tavern, the warmth of the sun on your back as you hike a mountain trail, and the quiet moments that remind you how beautiful it is to simply be alive. This isn't a vacation, it's a story waiting to be lived. Now, go write it! Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe, and share this video if it brought you any value. Check out the next video on our channel for even more unfiltered travel inspiration. See you on the next journey.